this game ends up going the distance here, simply because... Welcome to Expedition Lost, ladies and gents, and spawning in the bottom left-hand position as the red Zerg player representing Swiss team mYinsanity. He's been an up-and-comer for a while now, so it's a bit unfair to call him that, but at the same time, he is continuously getting better as well, and that's what makes this such an exciting player. It's mYinsanity's Serral. Often a fantastic ace in team leads as well for mYinsanity, doing a fantastic job for the clan. But over here in the top right, a formidable Terran opponent. Some argue he is the best non-Korean player in the world right now. Would you agree? Would you disagree? It's very, very difficult to tell at the moment. He's certainly playing very well, and he's up to a 1-0 lead. Representing Team Liquid.net, we have Bunny. Now, Bunny foregoing his usual Reaper shenanigans and game number 1. He instead went for the command center first. What are we going to be seeing in game 2 here? Do we have a gas coming out at the moment? It doesn't look like we do. So it could well be a single barracks fast expand here on Expedition Lost. Bunny perhaps moving away a little bit from the builds that we saw him do oh so often in the past against so many of his opponents. Both Zerg and Protoss were the recipients of his Reaper anger, but perhaps not today. Serral, in the meantime, he's going to be mixing it up a little bit by going for spawning pool before his hatchery. Very, very marginally safer, of course, able to get those lings and at least a single queen out on the map as soon as practically possible. Oh, in the meantime, guys, we're going to see what the strategies are going to be, what the tech choices are going to be, as Bunny does indeed go for his 1 Rax gasless fast expand. So we'll be able to scout this as well. This Overlord is actually going straight into the natural. We'll be able to see the timing on that immediately, which is most excellent for our mYinsanity Zerg. There we go. He knows exactly what's going on right now. It's too late to be a command center first, and it is down reasonably early. And Bunny now is going to be getting a double gas off the back of this, so he's not going for a second barracks or anything like that just yet, boys. We're going to see him go for the factory, perhaps, or an add-on very, very quickly indeed. Let's keep an eye on what happens there. In the meantime, still continuing to drone up and grabbing those queens is Serral. Now at the 4-minute mark of the game, the natural expansion's about to pop. We've got the queen out inside the main now, so everything is hunky-dory. Immediate inject and run, walk, arthritic wobble down to the natural expansion there. And we're going to be injecting that as well upon... oh, hang on. We're going to be actually spreading a creep tumor and birthing another queen, presumably, at some point very, very soon indeed. So fair enough. Bunny, in the meantime, has started his bunker at the front of his base. These Zerglings have also found something to nibble on. But rock towers, I don't believe, are particularly tasty. And this Tastelope might be agreeing with me. So, we got the factory. We did indeed get the add-on on the barracks. It wasn't going to be a tech lab. We're not going for early stim or anything like that. It is going to be a reactor. So we have a gasless fast expand into reactored Hellions here from Bunny. So that starting play has been revealed now. Obviously, it's going to take him just a little bit of time to get those units out. He's not going for ultra-fast Banshee or something like that. Serral, in the meantime, has gone ahead and grabbed his 3rd base as well. And his overlords have told him, so far, there's no real danger in this game, and he's not too worried. So if he pops back in, he will be able to scout that the factory's there, and if he's lucky, the starport as well. And that will kind of give Serral everything he needs to know, because he knows what Bunny's tech capabilities are, and he knows that he's only got 1 barracks, which is fairly useful, knowing you're not actually walking into the face of a tremendous bio attack early on. These rocks are now down. Hopefully the Zerglings aren't dead. Well, if they weren't dead before, they certainly are now, as Bunny moves out with his first couple of Hellions, unable to get past, of course, this wall, thanks to the rocks. And I believe the ones on the other side are getting munched down as well by a single Zergling, but that will get stopped in the meantime. These Hellions shouldn't be a match for a couple of queens, so we're not really being too worried at the moment. Back home, we've got an armory, though, and this might actually make Serral a bit worried if he knew about it. So we could be seeing the potential here for a possible Hellbat timing. And that could be very devastating indeed, because we've got the double Hellion production. We've got the first medevacs out. Hellbat timing is looking pretty legit this game. We've picked up a good number of Marines. We're moving out in a medevac now, so 6 of them moving out across the field, meeting up with the Hellions over here. I think this coincides, by the way, guys, with the fact that the armory is now complete, and we're able to make those Hellbats. And this could end up just being a very, very tricky push to hold for Serral. What's he doing? He's got 16 Lings on the way. That's pretty good. We need more of those units right now. Here come the Hellbats. There's the transformation servos, ladies and gentlemen, and he is going to try and attack the third base first, targeting down the Queens. Reasonably good micro there coming out from both players, but unfortunately, no matter how hard you micro Lings against Hellbats, that flame surface area is just absolutely ridiculous. And with the medevac healing him as well, wow, look at that. 4 Hellbats still alive, protecting that contingent of Marines there. And yes, the Queens are doing some amount of damage, but oh my goodness, nothing's really getting repaired here. Whereas for the Terran army, the medevac is doing so much work. Finally, we have one Hellbat go down, and the inefficiencies here for the Zerg player are just frightening right now. Bunny really trying to push forward and make it an easy 2 games out of 2. A couple of units now trying to tackle the third base, and if that ends up going down as well, that could be very, very bad news indeed. The Queen's now coming back for a second try. One of them on such low health, needs to be so careful, managing finally to pick off this army by the looks of things. A couple of Marines will be able to try and get away, but won't succeed. And now that means that the Hellbat that was kind of waiting on this hatchery to ever so slowly die will no longer be able to do that. So Serral being quite patient there and managing to hold it off. And that attack initially looked really, really scary. I'm pretty sure everyone watching would have looked at that and gone, oh dear, this could be trouble as a Zerg player. But Serral took the hit on his hatchery. It got down to just over half health. And he's actually been very, very sensible about it. Bunny now is going to be following this up with a Banshee without cloak. Oh dear! And we have a Serral inside the natural expansion moving. I love the fact that he move commanded, by the way, those Zerglings around the Hellions before alerting Bunny to the fact that that was being attacked. Really, really nice. The bunker's going to go down. A good number of SCVs might go down as well. That Hellbat gets completely surrounded, and a lot of SCVs going down. We've spotted a couple of the Hellions, and we're going to be going after them too. And I think he should just go after works and get as many as he can at the moment, to be honest, because the Hellion really is just there as bait, and the Banshee will be able to clean up. Number of workers killed now, 12-2 in favor of Serral. That's exactly one of those small things he was looking for to be able to give him an advantageous edge against Liquid Bunny here. This Banshee, in the meantime, has Cloak and has gone up to 6 kills. So doing reasonably well. 12 versus 5 at the moment still. So Bunny lagging a little behind. Workers at the moment, it's 55-47 in favor of our Zerg player. Now this, I believe, has not been scouted yet because the Banshee was only skirting around the edges of the third base. So the fact that the spy attack is on its way, currently unknown to Liquid Bunny. He's continuing to build a couple of Banshees as well, by the looks of things. He didn't stop the production after just the one. And Serral now, he's going to be moving out with some, I guess I would call them lifelings, to maybe try and do some Startail Life kind of fancy harassy kind of schmaz. But unfortunately, with this number of Banshees out in the air, and I think the Hellions backing them up as well, this group of Lings on their own really aren't going to get too much done. Bunny being aggressive now, moving and pushing out across the map. He knows how good Bunny's creep spread was. Serral's creep spread was at the start of the last game. He doesn't want to have to face that again. The Banshees appear to be going into the natural and the main, and the Hellions are moving in towards the third and fourth location. Let's see how much they can get done here. So far, not actually able to kill off anything just yet, but now he's inside the third base. A couple of drones getting roasted. Let's take a look at what these Banshees are going to be up to as well. We're up to 8 workers killed versus 12, so Buddy is trying very, very hard to even out the economy right now. Unfortunately, over here, less of a good story. We have the Hellions just chased to the edge of the map with Zerglings, and yeah, okay, they do well against Zerglings, but they did actually just get taken out. And now here come the Banshees. It looks like, oh wow, the second one didn't actually end up dying there, but it certainly will when the Queens get there. And this is definitely getting cleaned up, but at what cost, ladies and gentlemen? Really, really nice. 14 workers killed apiece right now. But we have that Zergling run by we were talking about. It's an Overseer here, not Zerglings inside the main base. And a couple of Marines are going to move around here to clean it up. Bunny has had to lift his third command center. So really, really good news there from Serral on the counterattack. He's currently a 108 versus 86 supply. And he smells blood. That small army right now, yes, it was enough to take care of the initial Lings, but is it going to be enough to take care of what's coming in after? This is definitely more Lings than than they were before. And these Marines have to be oh so careful with their positioning, and indeed they are. Look at that, sandwiching themselves between the two Vespene guys, are saying, hang on a second, we're not going to be food for any Zerg unit today, and we even have a Banshee in to support us while the bunker goes up. So well played by both players there, and a good defensive strategy from Liquid Bunny. In the meantime, we've gone up to 5 barracks, guys, but we have a second factory being built in the natural expansion, so keep an eye on that. Mute is now starting to buzz around as well, looking for an opportunity to strike at SCVs to try and weaken that economy or pick off some sort of crucial building. He's moving into the main base right now. He sees the reactor on the starport, which looks pretty good. He's decided to gunk it up with the Overseer as well, which I really, really like. Such an underused skill. And, well, these wobbly banelings, unfortunately, are all going to get taken out for free. But we have got the meters coming in from the other side. So let's see how much damage this can do. The army's a little bit out of position. A good amount of lost mining time coming in here. And Serral at the moment brings his unit's kill tab, or his workers killed rather, to 27 versus 14. So Serral trying his best to squeeze as much value out of that as much as possible. And a fantastic bit of creep spread out into the middle of the map as well. Serral has 67 workers right now versus the 65 of Bunny, who's been macroing up hard despite losing those workers. So he's doing an okay job. And now we have these rocks that were blocking the way before out of the way thanks to Marine. Right, so the fourth base now, well, it's up, but it's not actually mining yet for Serral. And this is possibly a little bit late because it's the 16-minute 30-second mark now. It's been a long time that he's been on the same number of bases as Bunny, but he's definitely in a better position than he was last game. Certainly from a supply point of view, for example. Serral was behind at this point in the last game, but he's comfortably ahead now. A good pick off there. Massive flock of mutas accompanying the Overseer. And that's going to be able to pick off a medevac that was going into his right-hand side base. In the meantime, we have a lot of forces from Bunny moving out towards the middle of the map. Oh, and a Zergling picks them up as well. This is actually going to allow the mutas a little bit free reign inside the main base. Because Serral knows that the main army containing all of those Marines that are so harmful to his Mutalisks are actually somewhere else right now. And Bunny may be looking to make a move on one of these bases, but thinks twice about it. I wonder how much of that had to do with the creep spread. In the meantime, some more mech coming out from Bunny. Yeah, you can actually see the Widow Mines. You can see the Thors. Really trying to get under Serral's skin here and say, look, I'm perfectly happy for you to play this way, but I'm just going to make beefier and beefier units, and it's going to be more difficult for you to take more and more of the map. At least he's got his fourth base up and mining now. Good splits from Bunny there. Decent initial engagement, and Serral was forced to move off creep just for a bit, but there are a large number of Mutalisks here, though, and I think Bunny needs to seriously respect that, because this could be a battle that decides the outcome of the game. And Serral right now, well, he's maxed out. He's got 2-2 upgrades. I mean, so has Bunny. But he's basically just done a fine job. I love these continuing to spread this creep. There's a Zergling holding this watchtower as well. So it's going to be able to come out here pretty easily. No problem. And now we have Liquid Bunny moving on. He's coming on to creep. Scanning ahead to check what's going on. He might have caught a glimpse of a Mutalisk there. Burrows the first Widow Mine, being super cautious. And here comes the massive wave from Serral. Look at how many Banelings are in this. Bunny's going to have to do some excellent splits. There's still a couple of Banelings left over. And some of the Marines are actually still there as Bunny manages to move off of creep. And that is going to be excellent for him. Serral took a fantastic first half of the engagement. He didn't quite have enough Banelings to pull the rest of it off, though. And he needs to hold on with this base in the bottom right until the rest of those Banelings start morphing in. He's lost 3 or 4 of them for free already, moving them too close to the hatchery. When are they going to be popping out? It's just a matter of seconds, but this hatchery is starting to come under fire. And here we go. I think Serral's going to have to go for it here if he wants to hold on to the space. Good connects with the initial number of Marines, but we need to be killing off the medevacs as well. There's high gas units. Prevent that heal from the Marines. It looks like this time around on creep as well, the full surround is able to come down for all of the units, and Serral is in a much more comfortable position. Yes, there are a couple of units left on the edge of creep, but this isn't a game-winning number of units right now. Really well played there by Serral, and he currently enjoys a 170 to 130 army supply, total supply rather. If that was army supply, that would be a little bit insane. But he does have an army supply advantage as well. Now, one thing to say about that army, though, is that everyone knows how absolutely terribly disruptive 3-3 bio is. And 3-3 is going to be coming into play for Bunny significantly faster than it would be for Serral. So we need to keep an eye on that. Oh my god, the Widow Mine! Oh, that was the worst Widowmine hit you could possibly have imagined. He actually clumped them up last second as well. And Serral, he's actually going to be going for this. There are more Widowmines here. Good pick off there. A lot of those mutas might have been hurt by that. He's getting into a more Marauder-heavy composition now as well. So the mutas are going to be good, but he needs to make sure that this Thor is picked off, because the Mutalisks actually, that's basically their only weakness right now. Imagine a Widowmine hits them and a whole bunch of splash damage comes out from one of the Thors. That could be absolutely disastrous. Now 5 bases, and they're not getting, the 4th bases aren't getting cancelled this time, so Serral's having a far more comfortable game than we saw in game 1, guys. Very chilled out compared to what we saw beforehand. And Bunny at the moment is poking and prodding, trying to work out, actually, can I take this engagement? And I'm not 100% certain he can, but he is getting close again to maxing out. So if he moves all his forces into one location, he might be able to get something done here. Oh my god. Oh my god. I mean, he could use the rest of them. Is he going to burrow? No. He's going to wait and kill off the Marines. Wow. Sliding off the cliff there. Number of workers killed, ladies and gentlemen. 38 to 20 right now. And Bunny is down to 54 SCVs. Serral at the moment doing a very good job in game number 2. Look at this creep spread, guys. He's got Bunny's gold base. Pretty sick. And he's going to be able to move it out across to Bunny's basically 3rd of the map very soon. I love that he's just moving out with these Lings, by the way. He's trying to pick up the Thors as they come into support. Really, really nicely done there. And in the meantime, the Mutas can kind of harass the Marauders over here on this side of the map. In fact, if they move out too far, guys, there aren't that many Marines with this composition. The Marauders are all in front, which means Zergling's Muta might actually be able to sweep in first, followed by the Banelings to clean up the ranks in the back. We need to be very careful here. Bunny, very serious with this push now. 3-3 is complete. Serral has to throw the kitchen sink at him if he wants to retain the advantage. Bunny is going for the death ball approach right now. He's moving forward with a good number of Widowmines. A lot of Marauders at the front end of this composition. Where is the army? It's 110 supply. Oh god, there's the army, but so susceptible to Widowmines. And here comes the massive attack. Will he be able to do it? 2 directions. Go the Banelings. And a lot of the Marines cleaned up from one. A decent number cleaned up from the other. A good amount of splitting, but there aren't quite that many in the rebound. I mean, most of these are actually Marauders right now, guys. So a second batch of Banelings, and here they come from the back as well. Even the Marauders are getting quite low, and Bunny is forced to pick up. The Mutalisks are able to pick off the rest of those Marauders. Ooh, good hit by that Widowmine, though. And we have a situation where Bunny is forced to leave. He's down to 115 supply versus 180. He killed a lot, but he didn't damage the infrastructure. And you can see in the units lost tab, yes, Serral has lost more, but Bunny at the moment, well, he doesn't want to be losing nearly as much as the Zerg right now. He has got his 4th base, rather, up in mining, so that's a plus, but he hasn't been able to contest any of these hatcheries. He hasn't been able to kill that off, and as a result, Serral is just looking pretty hunky-dory on 80 drones and continuing to max out non-stop. He's got 3-3 and chitinous plating on the way now as well. He's preparing for that Ultralisk transition, and that's going to do so well against the squishy bio units, but I don't know, offensively, when you're off creep, I mean, you can basically kite Ultras for quite a long time, especially if you have Concussive Shell and the Marauders. So he does need to be a little bit careful. But on the other hand, look, if your creep spread is this good and you're even able to take this base and defend it as well, Bunny's going to have to become the aggressor. And if he has to become the aggressor, then Ultras on creep, well, they're just a lot faster and generally a lot more excellent. The Muta's coming in for a flank now. But where's the main army? Speaking of flank, it looks like they're only killing off a couple of units before they're forced to move back on the left-hand side. And here come the Banelings. He's going to wait until the Marines are too busy kiting back to come in with the Mutalisks. And that succeeds, actually. Pretty much everything goes down there. And Bunny, once again, has been knocked down in terms of supply. He's only down to 130 this time around. God, that's a lot of Banelings. He even hit a couple against the Thor, and he just went, yeah, I don't even mind anymore. And once again, Bunny pushed completely off creep. Sure, there are a couple of creep trimmers that need to go down here, but basically no lasting damage done to Serral, who's going to be able to remax oh so quickly indeed. +3 attack has now completed, +3 defense will be finished in a matter of seconds for our mYinsanity Zerg, and there's no harass going on anywhere else in the map, guys. You take a look at this base, looks completely shiny with the exception of the damage that wasn't repaired earlier. This base, again, same story. Everything is centered in on this army right now, and Bunny is, well, I guess he's going to go and try and take this gold base as well. And look at this. Oh, Serral's so smart. lining himself up to put down a creep tumor here as well, but the stim plus the Thor combined is going to make him think twice about it. Serral, though, saying, look, this is a big target for me. I'm just going to go ahead and whittle it down. And Bunny loading up a drop and moving to the right-hand side, by the way. This second medevac is empty. Okay, it's only meant to be a 1 medevac drop, so let's keep an eye on that. A good number of Zerglings and Banelings, but more importantly, the Ultras have now popped for mYi in this best of 9 series. This is actually getting quite tense. We're reaching the half-an-hour mark now, guys, and finally we have the drops coming in from Bunny. Is this multitasking going to be enough to dent anything here for Serral? Well, these Mutas say no, ladies and gentlemen. Mutas say no, unfortunately, and this drop actually is being looked after on this side as well, because there are about 2 Banelings for each Marine. No, there's probably 3 Banelings for each Marine inside that dropship. So that's pretty darn impressive indeed. So these drops don't end up doing anything at all. On the plus side, Bunny is going to be able to land this command center at the gold base, but will he be able to defense it, as White Ra would say? So low, this medevac. Oh, God. Well, I don't care how high or low you are. That's a good number of mutas, and the drops get completely cleaned up. Another drop over here on the right-hand side for Bunny. He is not giving up on this just yet. The mutas are actually already moving out towards the bottom right-hand side. So very, very good reactions coming out of there from him. A single muta trying to be a bit annoying, but it looks like this drop will be able to succeed in killing off a couple of workers. And now, here comes the big battle as the Mutalisks are actually over here. So Bunny's managed to distract the Mutalisks. They're going to be able to clean up this drop, but will they be able to get back in time to stop this army from doing sizable damage? A good spread there. Lots of Widow Mines here from Bunny that haven't actually moved off yet, and this 10 o'clock base is going to be forced to be abandoned. I like how he's moved the drones away. He'll be able to put that hatchery down once again, straight away, waiting for the Mutalisks to join. 3-3 complete for both players. We've got +2 flyer attacks on the Mutas too. At what point are we going to see the flank and the attack coming out from Serral? We're being very, very patient at the moment. And I think that's a good thing. If he rushes into this and a death ball from Bunny takes him out, it doesn't matter if you were ahead earlier in the game. That could just end up being a battle that costs you victory completely. And Serral now revealing his infestors that he has had out in the meantime. So all of a sudden the pre-splits from Bunny have to be excellent as well. Otherwise, he runs the risk of Serral absolutely bum-rushing everything that Bunny has here. And just, 1 clump fungal, 2 clump fungal, GG, sir. He definitely doesn't want that to happen at all. We're playing medevac ping pong over here on the south side of the map. 3 Marines and a medevac are really thoroughly enjoying the fact that they are currently the center of attention. Unfortunately, a medevac on its own is not able to do any damage. And a good fungal to start things off, just slowing down those first couple of units. This Thor being very, very wary of what's going on. That's going to get fungal his way. Here come the Mutalisks. Oh, this is so tense. Do we have units coming around from the other side? Yes, an Ultralisk and a good number of Banelings coming in from the right, but this hatchery is going to go down as well. Serral has to be in a position where he takes out this army. Oh, wow. Excellent hits against a lot of those Marines, but this army is very Marauder heavy. We also need to see some more fungal growth, actually, against the rest of it as well. Look at how much army is left here. And Bunny's still on 188 supply, doing a tremendous job right now. Serral taking the top left base, sneaky beavering his way into doing that. Take a look. You don't actually see that from a Terran point of view. In fact, all we see is an orbital command attempting to go land there, so that's going to be a bit of a rude surprise. Now the gold base basically is making up an awful lot of what Bunny lacks right now, so those minerals are just helping him finance this army. That's why he's currently still at 190 supply versus max out. But he needs to sustain this pressure. Serral's done such a good job so far in this game of keeping Bunny's aggressive units off of creep. Oh, that could have been so sick. It looks like it's just going to be a normal fungal. Oh, wow. We're actually moving into Broodlords as well, guys. So, Broodlord, Ultralisk, Infestor. We're basically moving into almost Wings of Liberty-esque kind of stuff there. And hang on a second. These guys are not very happy at all. A single Zergling, MVP Zergling over here on the left-hand side, guys. He's like, don't worry, guys. I got this. For the swarm! Ha! How many kills that thing got? 1 kill. Still 1 kill. Oh, there are Marines there. 2 kills. Don't get close. That's a planetary fortress. Don't get closer. Joe, don't do it. Don't do it. No. Oh, well, there we go. And a massive attack coming on here now. Well, I say massive, actually. It's still predominantly going to be fungals. Excellent fungal growth to start the engagement. That's actually going to force Bunny to engage with everything he's got. He has to come in and stim against a brood like this Ultralisk. It's in the back doing nothing. We need to be able to move the rest of the units forward. There we go. That's the momentum that Serral needed. But is it too little? Will he be able to break through? He's only got 3 Broodlords. The Mutas, though. Oh, my God, the Mutas. He's got more than 24 Mutas at the moment. And that might actually seal the deal. There are Vikings here, but Mutalisks, hey, you know what? In these kind of numbers, it might not even matter. The Broodlord's coming in. They're going to be sieging up the gold base now as well. And I think this is looking like a stronghold here. I would love to see some creep spread off the back of this. I really want to see an Overseer drop some gunk so Queens can start spreading some tumors as well. But it might not matter at this point. Bunny is down to 100 supply. Serral still at 153. And, well, okay, he doesn't quite have a bank, but he's got 1,000. That's, you know, that's not something to be messed at. And this, well, this Thor, I mean, is single-handedly doing so much damage right now, and he's also getting repaired. So, what is Serral's next move? This base has gone down in the meantime, and it looks like, wow, Mortal Kombat, ladies and gentlemen, is happening. You could have killed that SCV. Where are you going? Alright, he's decided he's going to be moving out for now. Fine. Maybe there are more important things. I will acknowledge that. Let's move into this right-hand side base now. Oh god, infestors, watch yourself. Good fungal growth on that Widow Mine, I suppose, but ideally wanted to get a bit more than that. What is stopping this army from absolutely destroying this base? And at the moment, the answer is not an awful lot. That's a fungal he was looking for. A good number of infested Terrans as well popping out, and we have a couple of Thors here on the left-hand side. Oh dear, the Medevac and the Thor going down. GG, and mYinsanity Serral, ladies and gentlemen, will be evening out the series at 1-all to tie this up 1-1, and basically go into game number 3 all square.